So lads, today I'm in my parents' house. I am dying sick. Like I am incredibly sick. I'm in bed right now. But we gotta talk about Caitlin Clark being the AP Female Athlete of the Year. Only the second ever WNBA player. Fourth if you consider Cheryl Swoops and Rebecca Lobo, who won it before they were in the WNBA. But the WNBA themselves don't even acknowledge that. So second ever after Candace Parker, who has done it twice. Before we get on to things though, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 40.5k by Christmas. We're 29 off. And if we could do that, that'd be incredible. We're uploading 4 videos today and I'm barely functioning. But as you can see here, Caitlin Clark honoured as AP Female Athlete of the Year following her impact on women's sports. And I think that's an obvious one. It's a given. And it's not... it's like we haven't seen someone have this type of impact in a long time. Like you hear the Pacers owners and stuff talking about how they want the Pacers to be a little bit like the Fever. They want the Pacers to be as big as the Fever, which is huge, which is absolutely huge. Like we've never seen something like that before in women's sports. So for me anyway, like it's an obvious one that she's winning all these awards. It's incredibly obvious because when we look at impact on and off the floor, there's no one that even comes close. Caitlin Clark raised the profile of women's basketball to unprecedented levels in both college ranks and the WNBA. Tuesday, she was named AP Female Athlete of the Year for her impact on and off the court. After leading Iowa to a national championship game, Clark was the top pick in the WNBA draft and, as expected, went on to win Rookie of the Year. I'm not going to lie, like, through about 10 games, I was like, ugh, this is kind of neck and neck. And when Cardoso came on and what she did against Indiana in, like, limited minutes, I was like, oh, maybe Cardoso could win this. But then Caitlin Clark just went to another stratosphere pretty much as soon as she, the Mercury game of the 30th of June, from then on, like, she was on a different stratosphere. Clark was the top pick in the draft. Fans packed sold out arenas and millions of television viewers followed her on her journey. Clark's exploits were far-reaching, casting line other women's sports leagues along the way. A group of 74 journalists and members voted an award. Clark received 35 votes. Biles was second with 25. Boxer Imaine Caliph was third, getting 4 votes. I mean, okay. Clark was the 4th women's basketball player to be honoured, joining Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo. These were both before the WNBA, so the WNBA themselves doesn't even recognise them. And then Candace Parker won it twice from Caitlin Clark. I grew up a fan of Candace Parker and people that came before me, and honoured in this way. And to be honoured in this way is super special, and I'm thankful. Clark said in a phone interview, it was great for women's basketball and women's sports. And that's the thing where it's like, obviously Shohei Ohtani won the Male Athlete of the Year. I didn't even realize, like, look, I don't know anything about baseball. I didn't even realize how big the contracts are in baseball. Mental. But she was only 49 points off 4,000, which is crazy. And look, her record, the record's getting me nearly untouchable. People are like, oh, Juju's going to break the record. Man, Juju's got to, I think, is it something like Juju has got to average 30 points a game and make 2 of the next 3 championship games. Like, that's literally what Juju has to do. He's averaging like 24 this year. And they're in the Big Ten, so conference play is going to be tougher. Lobo has also been impressed. It's funny, though. For all the success Clark has had and the attention she's brought to the women's basketball, she's often the centerpiece of debate and online toxicity towards her and other players in the league. I don't mind that finally. Like, I actually like them saying, you know what, she's at the center sometimes of toxicity towards her. Because it's never literally, like, the problem is that she's been on the receiving end as much as anyone else, and it's good that you hear that. It says here, Lobo's been impressed by way 22-year-old Clark's handle of pressure. I wish Cheryl Swoops would say something, but obviously she's not going to. I'd say she's navigated almost flawlessly. She hasn't had any big missteps or misspeaks at a time you're under constant scrutiny. She seemed to say and do all the right things, just incredible at the time. And it's funny because people will still hate her. People will still hate her. Like, the fact that, like, we've seen people in the media imply that she should have given back her Time Athlete of the Year. Like, it's kind of mad. But yeah, like, Iowa's selling out all their home games is kind of crazy. Like, so they sold all their games at home, and if you guys didn't know, like, the UConn versus USC game was the second biggest game ever on Fox view wise, but Caitlin Clark played Ohio State, was it last year, I think? And that matchup had double the views. So Caitlin Clark versus JC Sheldon had double the views of Caitlin Clark, of Juju versus Paige, which is mental. You'd be remiss not to acknowledge how crazy fan base and the eye she gets with everything she does, says Tyrese Halliburton, who's often spotted courtside. It's a different type of popularity. She's one of the most popular athletes in the world. It's not just women's sports anymore. It's really cool to see, and she just handles it with grace. And that's 100% it. Like, she is the face of basketball. Like, she broke the all-time D1 record, a record from Pete Maravich in the 70s. Top pick in the draft, rookie of the year. And she is the only she's the first rookie point guard since Sue Bird to make the all WNBA first team. And the only reason Sue Bird did was because they had to put a point guard. Like, this is positionless. If there was positionless, Sue Bird would not have made it in 2002. My favorite part is, like, was it ESPN said Sue Bird didn't have a top 10 rookie season of all time. She was the all W first team, gave Angel Reese number 10. But yeah, it is mad. It is absolutely mad. Like, look at the attendance record. The increase, 318% from Caitlin Clark for the Fever, which is crazy. Viewership is up 300%, thanks in large part to Clark. It's fascinating. You can always appreciate how many people 18 million is. Like, 18 million people watched her play against South Carolina last year, which is mental. But obviously, Associated Press, why couldn't they put the whole WNBA on the cover? I mean, you know it's bad that, like, Matt Barnes on, like, the All the Smoke podcast has basically said it's one of the most stupid things he's ever heard from the Mystics owner. And they need a bigger trophy room. What about the other? I still can't believe that. I still cannot believe that. But yeah, I mean, look, to say Caitlin Clark didn't deserve all these awards, and a lot of people are like, oh, Caitlin Clark's getting them too early. Caitlin Clark's not gonna win it next year unless she wins MVP. It's as simple as that. The reason why was what Caitlin Clark did in college, and then what she continued to do in the WNBA. Like, her uplifting the sport is why she's getting these awards. Everyone being like, oh, she's getting these awards too early. I'm sorry, there's never going to be a year where Caitlin Clark deserves these awards more than this year. She could win MVP title, finals MVP. She will never deserve it more than this year because of what she did in college and the WNBA to grow the sport. It's not about, you know, people saying she's getting everything too quick. She's getting all these awards too quick. The reality is that there's no one more deserving than Caitlin Clark winning these awards. And there's never going to be another year where Caitlin Clark is more deserving than this year to get the awards. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. I'm probably going to upload like 3 or 4 videos today. My voice is okay. It's not hurting me too much. But yeah, it's like 9 p.m. right now and I want to be in bed by like 11. So anyway, I will see you guys.